Hi, I'm Paul.
I'm Tammy, and
We're inseparable. So, what are we going to fight about today?
What?
Oh, I'm sorry. What are we going to talk about today? We had to do a fight scene, and it was just horrible, but it was funny. It gave us a lot of material, and that's what we're going to talk about today. There are 9 other clips, or one's a picture, that were used in Taxi and in Sequel combined, and that's it. I mean, there are only 2 in Taxi, and the fight scene. And the fight scene is from the movie, from the video, The Pretender,
Yeah.
Jackson Brown. And it only took us about 10, 12 minutes to film 20 seconds of us fighting and me walking out the door. But boy, did it give us just a treasure trove of material,
Well, I
that's
kept
been.
laughing because you were telling me to yell at you, and I'm like, well, I don't know. I don't. And then I was like, he had this mad look, and I was like laughing because, like, I don't, we don't yell at each other or like or fight. And I was like, I don't know how to do this. And then I just kept breaking up.
Yeah.
And then finally I said to you, "You're not taking your Mustang out."
Yeah,
Now
that's right.
I had to think
You're
of
not
something.
taking your Mustang out today, mister.
I had to think of something to say to get mad, and it actually worked that time.
So there are like 3 lines in Taxi, and then there's a hook, because at the end they say, half the time thinking of what might have been, and you're in your wedding dress,
Yeah.
and half thinking just as well. When we finally got it, after about 10 minutes, we actually got a clip that we could use. I put that in the end, so it's kind of like a running gag,
Yeah.
And there's one other scene from there, and that's when you come up, and it looks like you're saying, I finally like myself,
Hmm.
and we're wearing this. But what we did is, at the end of a lot of the videos, we would just tape a little bit of posing for thumbnails.
Yeah.
We don't do that anymore. I just take something from the video that I
Yeah.
have. In the intro to the video, I usually put everything I want in the thumbnail,
Hmm.
and then I just take a snapshot of that, and that ends up being the thumbnail. But that's what we were doing. You didn't say that. I don't know what you said, but it looks like you're saying, I finally like myself.
Yeah. It looked like it lined up like I was. That's what I was saying.
So those are 3 of the 9.
Hmm.
Okay. The next one is, again, we're trying to do a serious video about going on vacation with an Aspie, and everything. I mean, it's 10, 12 minutes long, and 7 or 8 minutes of it are bloopers. And whenever we need a video, a clip of us being stoned, and both of us, like we're stoned out of our mind, that's the go-to clip. And it's up as a blooper, and I say, if you can watch this whole thing without peeing your pants, you're doing well. But we really come off like we're stoned. We don't smoke, we don't drink, we don't do drugs.
No.
She never has. I stopped at 22.
Yeah,
So
but you only did some pot or
yeah,
something. It wasn't anything.
just some pot, and I
Yeah.
drank beer and
Yeah.
smoked cigarettes, and all of that ended by 22. And but
This is just us being silly.
right. So that covers Taxi,
Mhm. Mhm.
and now we'll get into the opening scene from Sequel,
Mhm.
and it's also the opening scene to Still the Same. And what we did is, the movie, well, you're supposed to be a gambler, and it might be a relationship gambler or something like that. It might be a casino gambler, but we made you into a sports gambler, because that was the easiest thing to depict. And you would betting, switch from game to game, from one football game to the other. We showed that on the screen.
Right.
And then I put you in my Brady game shirt and
Yeah.
said, okay, now you gotta, every time you won, every time you place the bet, and jump up, and cheer, and you're like, but I can't find my motivation.
I don't like football, so.
You don't like football. And then she says, no, wait, I got it. And she said, go Big Poppy.
Yeah, because I'm more of a baseball fan. Yeah.
Red Sox player,
Yeah.
of great, well known, David Ortiz. But so, and she said, well, is that going to ruin it? And I said, well, no, because nobody's going to hear
Yeah, they
what you
didn't hear
say.
what I
It's going to
said.
be for music. So nobody's hearing
It
what.
looks like I'm cheering for the football game. Yeah.
Okay, so let's see what else is on the list. Thumbnail, which I talked about that.
Hmm.
Too Wicked Cute. Okay, and this is another gem that we have that we use a lot, and we use it a lot in the outro. But if I use this as in the video,
Hmm.
then I won't use it for an outro. We have alternate outros that we can use, and we were leaving work after doing month end. It's exhausting, and they had just put in a doorbell cam.
Hmm.
And what did you do?
I waved at it when
Yeah.
I was locking the door, and I smiled and waved like bye.
Like we're really happy, but we're really happy to be going
We're
home at
happy to
that
be
point.
leaving. Yeah.
And she showed it to me the next day, and I thought, oh no, this is gold. We got to find a way to keep this. Well, corporate doesn't let you. Isn't going to give you a clip of you fooling around on their camera, but we just took out the phone and recorded it off the screen, and
Yeah.
that gets used everywhere. And when she said, "Well, I can't go to the concert because I work at night,"
Mhm.
and we're good saying goodbye, and you're saying goodbye. It was like the perfect clip to slide in there. So that's where that came from. Then there's one that maybe doesn't seem to relate unless you watch it very carefully and know the lyrics. She figured it out, and we call this clip "Blue Driving,"
Mhm.
where we drive around the circle out in front of our house. We're sitting at the end of the driveway talking about going bra shopping, and it's supposed to be a mix-up. Bra shopping was a story about when we first lived together. I took her bra shopping, and there was an old bag at the sourpuss at the lingerie section at Sears, and I knew she was bothered by me being there, so I just said to her, oh, my little girl's got to get a new bra. She was putting that thing on the other day, and it's so tight the snap broke out and almost took my eye out. And she just looked like...
The look on her face was like, that made her even madder. Yeah.
So then after we drove around the circle and came back into the house, and there's some really nice sunlight and stuff like that. But the line is the circle keeps going around.
Mm-hmm.
And you say, oh, that's why you used it, because in the rear you can see the houses. You can tell we're going around in the circle.
Yeah.
So that's a very widely used clip. And then the second clip in Still the Same, which is the clip that we used for the bullet version of Mustang Sally. And I've mentioned this before. This was the thing that gave origin to... this is what gave origin to doing Taxi, the idea to do Taxi. And so I was able to work it in, after Blue Driving, where, you're making your escape, or I'm not sure what the line is, but it's there, and so we were able to work that clip in, the clip that gave birth to that. And then there's the picture of her in her wedding dress. And I got a lot of these, and I got a great story about the wedding dress. I took her wedding dress shopping. Not a lot of people were enthusiastic about our relationship, so I took her myself.
Mm-hmm.
And that is one of the best moments in my entire life. We were looking through the rack, and she's like, no, this is my size. Oh, wait. And she put it back. And I'm like, why are you putting it back? And this was in a big outlet store, JCPenney outlet store outside of Hartford, Connecticut. And she said, oh, it's too much. Well, how much is it? I think it was $460 or $480, something like that. And I said, that's not a lot of money for a wedding dress. Well, there's some over here that are cheaper. Like, this is your wedding, I'm paying for it, so don't worry about it. So I convinced her to go try it on. And you know, usually when you're doing this, you have a bunch of women with you, and you're in a
Right.
bridal shop, and you know, posing for them. I'm the only person with her. She put it on. She didn't know what else to do, so she walks out on the sales floor. And if you've ever seen that commercial, that brokerage, I don't know which one it is, but everybody freezes.
Yeah.
It was what happened. She walked out onto the floor. Nobody was expecting to see somebody in a wedding gown, and
Yeah.
everybody froze. The cash register stopped ringing. There had to be 50 people there. It was the hallmark moment of our all our weddings and
Stop
things.
the store. Yeah.
So, and then a little girl yelled out. She said, "Look, Dad, she's beautiful!" And then everybody laughed, and then they kind of were able freed from their suspended animation, and the register started ringing. But it's just a very precious moment to me. I'll always cherish that, and I
Mhm.
thought I'd share it with you. So
Mhm.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up um, Jackson Brown's "The Pretender," because that's where the fight video comes from. And if you're a fan of Harry Chafin, this is a great storyteller
Mhm.
video. And then I'm going to put up, for the first time, Taxi sequel,
Okay.
the complete 13-minute link to that, so that you can see the whole thing. When how we came to do sequel, there's a lot of people when we did Taxi said, "Can you please do Taxi and sequel together?" I don't think I even heard sequel before. I think I heard of it, but I
Mhm.
don't even think I heard the song before. And I listened to it. Oh, it seems a little forced, maybe a little weak. But
Yeah.
when you put it in and you depict it, it gets a lot stronger. It
Mhm.
gets a lot better. And we love it. I listen to it every day. I listen to Taxi sequel. So if you see it has about 1,500 views, I've got 700 of them. Okay. Take care. God bless.
Thanks for watching. We love you.
Bye.
Bye.
See, she has to listen to what I don't say.